Okay, the time is running and I think we're starting to be all here. Maybe. The recording is on and we can continue with the issues. We were planning to go a bit about this menu planning through again, get the latest ideas, but a quick check up. Did you think about it through your lunch break now? Did you get any ideas or some kind of clear vision about the tasks and the things how you're going to go this one through? Just open your mic and we have a small chat about that.
Are we talking about the local food products?
Yes, and about the whole process that when you need to invent and make the menus, the recipes, and now starting slowly thinking about what you are going to make as food.
Oh, well, I know that near Tartu is a cucumber farm called Lunia. So maybe incorporate cucumbers into the menu.
Okay, that's good.
Or we have a lake called Peipsi and there is much fishes in it. So you can smoke it and use it also in the dish.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds excellent about that. So you can start thinking those things after the lessons that when we are ending this one, and keep it in mind about the menu and what you're gonna do. And now we can go through the things. I can share screen. Or is there any more comments about this from WAMIA students? Did you get some kind of an ideas how to go forward with the menu? Nothing. Okay. So we continue with the things that we went through. So basic principles of menu planning we went through. The tasks including is find out from the internet the 3 different fine dining menus that have the 3 courses menu. So that gives you some kind of an idea also what kind of a menus they are using locally in your area. So at least one of the menus should contain somehow locality aspects. You can make a presentation out of these and make notes about good and bad what they have on the menu. Like in Estonia side, I know that there's a lot of different kind of restaurants who are using these kind of ideas and methods on their own cooking. And they have kind of a visualization and also like a new trendy things going with the menu planning. In Vaasa area, we also have restaurants who are trying to be local producer with the local producers, one room and a kitchen, and Heim, also Gustav Vasa using local products and try to do their own things from that. And then I think Janne have a few ideas about the Omnia side. Maybe there is the restaurants that are locally near about these subjects that we are heading here. So all the students, you can always contact your own teachers about these issues and asking more information from them also to guide this one through. So you collect the ideas for the presentation about your own local food. So this kind of a research from the net and from the local will also help you to understand your own style with this local food and with these ingredients around it.
Yeah, but these are the tasks that are not that highly like mandatory. So to make a documents out of these, you can get some content for your portfolios or the blogs, the social media for sure. But the main idea is you look and check this, so it will support you in your the competition ideas. So in your own menu.
Yes. So when you make a lot of research through these items, you have an ideas that you can collect and then pick up the best one that suits for you when you are making those recipes in our tasks. That's just an idea. Then, if you want to make more research, the red spots are again extra material to help you with the task. One is all you need to know about menu planning, the menu planning itself, and something to think about. So if you click it open, there comes a huge package of the menu planning and how to create. On the last one, the menu engineering, how to take the profit tips out of it if you want to go deeper with the systems of that. Then a shorter version about menu planning principles. What do you need to consider when you go through this one? So extra material, lot over there. In short, the variations are also the main targets, then still have some kind of an idea going through the to the menu, resources and equipments for the tools, and most important, the customer needs and demands. That one also implementing a lot with these stories and get the cozy atmosphere. Nutrition aspects, of course, themes, what kind of a theme it is and how it affects with the food.
Yes, and these are which, if you can quickly put it back, Sami. So which is like most important, or which has the most value, again depends on the situation. So the basic stuff like the variation, meaning that everything shouldn't be just cooked, everything shouldn't be just fried. And everything shouldn't be just meat, everything shouldn't be just red, and so on. That means the variation. And then the resources means that can we actually do it? We have to do something that we really can do. If we do something really nice without success, or like almost good enough, I think it's not as good idea as when we do something that we really can, which we are really good in it. And of course we can get better in things, but before we start to sell it, we have to be really good in it. And then the nutrition, okay, when we are doing this kind of pop-up event, the nutrition part doesn't have that much weight on it, the nutrition values. We don't that much value the healthiness. There are some bonus aspects in it, of course, but then if we are working in designing menus for the kids, so then the nutrition values are higher, especially if they're going to eat our food on a daily basis for 10 years. So then the nutrition value could be more important than the variation, could be more important than the red line and the theme and so on. Yeah, that was my.
So all these things we need to consider also when we are making it. Guys just mentioned that they have a lot of a good company there who is producing the cucumbers. And we talk a lot about the fish things going on. So make the research out of those, what you can use, what kind of things they have and new things around it, how you can use it on a different scales, like, yeah, as you said, smoked, cured or something like that. So you have the basic line for the menu and you have a good system going on with that. So this information about the task, about everything, you find it again on modules in this core page and local food creating menus. It leads you to this area here. And when you go around, like we check it in the morning, there's always the spots where you can go. You start with the spot number A, that is the first one. We went this one already through. You always can find the orange ones are the information for you. So you start from info. Then there is tasks always included. Then there is more materials on orange that you need to read and check. And then if you need more information, those are mostly on red spots. Those are like extra material. Meet the producer video underneath this one. So there's a lot of information about the producer in Hamster. Then there is another information from Närpiö, nearby us in Finland, Vaasa area. They produce tomatoes. So there's a video about processing the tomatoes, how to find them and what kind of variations of different kind of tomato things they have. Defining locality. Locally grown. That's a defining the locality. And as we speak before, it doesn't have to be like just a 1 kilometer next to you. The locality, grown local producers can be nearby you. It doesn't have to be straight in town. So they can be also around area. If you want to read more information on that dot. So this is how you use this tool that we invent for you. You can always go back to the main session and then researching different ones. So you go through one A, then you go to B, open that one up, you find the information that you need, then you go to C, and here you find the recipe things. Always again on orange, what kind of information you need right now, and then on other colors, red or green or something else, you find more information.
And the black ones you don't have to mind at this point.
Yes, these are extra material that will be removed in some point from the sites. So in this point, first there is info, what do you need? Then there is the video that we show it to you. And remember that the video including spots where you can go on different places. And then of course for you, I think most important thing, the task. So in this point, the task is the recipe making, to invent recipe. But before you can make the recipe, you need to think about the menu. What kind of a food you can find locally from your area? Like again, we just went through that Närpes tomatoes with my students. And then there was that cucumber farm. And then there was already those fishes that you noted. So now, in some point, when you have made enough research, you collect as a group in school area or in Teams or by WhatsApp or whatever you want to use, and you start creating that one as a team. What kind of a food you're going to make, where it comes from, and what kind of a story we have implemented in. And that's the task after the lessons. So there you are exploring after the lessons on A, on B, and on C. When you have find the answers for these questions, you go to D, have more information about the story itself. Now we have found the menu with an idea. We start creating the story with that. Again, orange ones help you to go through the task to make a menu. Helping, story behind the food. There is one story behind the cheese shop, the guy explaining why he opened up this cheese shop and what kind of things implemented for that. Then the PowerPoint that we just went through about the implementing the story in your food, and then that's it. Extra information, example of food story, and story behind the food. Also, good ideas and things that you, if you are unsure about the story, you can check this video. There is more information about how to create that one. Then there is a page where you can read more about the story to tell with the food. But that's extra material. If you are still unsure what to do, that might help you to go through. Then we always go back to the main. We call it home. So this is a home section. And then you can jump from here to another level. And you go to the next world where you have more information about everything. And every time when you are here and you want to get back home, this red spot will guide you straight back to the home where you have the first things. So you jump to the next world through this point all the way to the back. And here we are. And here we have more information about the pop-up things and the ideas behind of these. So here we go on, for example, in the social media things, you have only two spots to help you through. Information, what we have here, about the blog and about the portfolio things. You can use your skills of social media by adding your documents into the created blog. So this much we know already from Janne's lessons last week. So the tasks for portfolio is add the following documentations which you created during this course to your portfolio and your blog. Those portion cards, those printable recipes, and maybe that operational budget for it. But again, you collect all the materials that you are creating with the team to help you through this thing to that blog. So it's like a diary for you. And in this world, you also have concepts of that food.
This is not part of the.
No, but I just show it to you. I'll show it to you that here we have different kind of things that affecting also for your ideas of making your food. And you can always go back from this world easily by pushing the home button. So on this searching thing, if you're thinking about the seasonality also that we talked about, that the most of the things are really expensive in some cases, that you need to create some kind of a food that is a seasonality on that point. It means, like we talked, that it's more cheaper in that point because in that season you have it a lot of different kind of things, like for example the summer, the berries, you can pick them from the forest, you can buy it from the markets easily and cheap. But in this point, if you are using strawberries, blueberries or other berries, those are pretty expensive and imported. So then it's not local and it's not like the seasonal food. So we always have to consider these things too. So when you are creating the fresh, flavorful dishes, you update locality and of course in the same time sustainability in cooking. So you can use ingredients, for example, like fresh, eco-friendly flavors to the menu, and you can take the chance, make the adventure, and use the wild ingredients in your cooking. That have been also a trend in restaurants right now, to take the different kind of wild ingredients and creating like more benefits from that one. Like in some of the restaurants, they just picking the things from the forest that haven't been used before and try to make something out of it, something new, or trying to find some other herbs that just the normal herbs that we are mostly using on our food making. So the wild food is always around us. So in this season even, you can find different kind of wild foods when in Finland, mostly like now, the nature is starting to grow up again and waking up. So it gives us a lot of opportunities to make different kind of food. And basically it doesn't cost anything because you can pick it by yourself. Different kind of wild leaves, maybe growing up, wild herbs, flowers, eatable flowers, mushrooms the autumn brings to us. Now it's not the season for that, but anyway. So we always have to think about the seasonality of the food. So the majority of the ingredients come from whatever is cooking. So if you are living nearby the sea or nearby the fields, those are next to your restaurant or next to your home, you can find out what it has to offer. So take the walk, explore, and just take the chance. Or like in this picture, we have made a salmon with beetroots. We have some different kind of herbs next to us in the school area, and we make food out of it. So it looks completely different than just normal cured fish. So we have used the seasonality on that one. For the latest trend for the different wild food components have been that, as we talked already, the smoked. Now we have starting to dry something up. Fermented thing was really trendy last year. The pickling and also burning things. Like a burned leek, and then make a powder out of that and season it. Things with it. So the ingredients for the latest method can be found from the countryside and even from your own garden. So I'm just trying to wake you up to think, let's say globally, that everything arranged basically around you can be used in somehow. So those fresh flowers, wild berries, everything that is available for you. Of course, the spring and summer is the greatest time for this one, because now the nature is basically sleeping and nothing is happening over there. But when it's starting to grow up, even the smallest things, like a small leaves of those trees, are excellent on taste if you just use it right on your home cooking. So those can be a different concepts. Those can be one of those ideas that you are creating. And basically the guideline to the whole menu, that you have invent something inside of it straight from the forest. That's how it goes. So from this world, we go back to home. And now we can have an open conversation again about the things that we just went through. What kind of an ideas it opens for you? Did you get already like the things that, yes, now I know what I'm gonna do. Now I know what kind of ingredients I'm going to use locally or next to me. Sometimes if I don't have any ideas for the menus that I'm going to use, or I don't have a menu for the students, I take a walk outside. I explore the surroundings and I think what kind of colors there is right now that I can use in the menu, or what kind of flavors is starting to grow up in the forest that I can use or we can use together. What is the thing that people need right now when it's dark and blurry? So how can I make it better with the food? That can be one of the ideas. That can be also the story inside your food. That I make this kind of a food because now it's cold outside. You need something warm. Or now I invent my things because it's getting spring and I'm waiting the summer. So I'm making these things because we are heading to the summer. These can be the implemented stories. These can be also the ingredients that we are creating through this kind of an idea and the story. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be difficult. You just watch outside. Think the flavors, think the producers, and create the menu through that. Any comments? No?
Hello, Chef.
Yes.
Yeah, just want to ask regarding on the menu story or the story of the story behind your menu. Does it really needs to be I mean based on the season, or example, if you come up with it during the springtime or during summertime, does it needs to be in align with the season? Example, I came up with this ingredients that was available during the season, so does the story needs to be aligned with the season, or it can be the whole year round?
Actually, no. That can be just one idea, that it's going through the seasonality. But it can be also something else. It doesn't have to include the seasonality in it. If you find a better way to show your food and your skills, then you can do that one through that.
Yeah, and I think also this term story can be a little bit misleading time to time. So it can be a story. For example, that we have the Vikings in here and they did this and that, and once in a year they had this feast when they celebrated this and they were eating this and this food, and they were produced like this and they drink this and this beer, and having the names, the Viking Great Harald, the bone breaker or whatever, and that would be like a true story, and the food part of it. But it can also be basically just the reason why I chose this. It's like we are using these products because this and this they are local. It's meant this really nice lady produces this there, and it goes really well with this other, for example, drink or homebrewed beer or this local ale or whatever, and they create this great combination. And in the springtime, for example, the strawberries in Finland, the sunshine, we have this 24/7 sun here. In the summer, it makes the strawberries extra sweet, and you can feel the flavors in this and that. So it's like endless world of different variations and point of views. This story behind the food. So and then you can just pick your own. It could be one idea. Sometimes it's like feels that there's too many choices, so it's hard to pick one. But like there is no wrong answer. Only wrong answer is that okay, we have this dish, okay? Can you tell something about this? It's meat and potatoes. No, there is no story behind it. But if you have the potatoes, which are these, they are from there, and so it's like the origin. It's also a story already behind the food. But it could also be something more.
And like in the first slide that we had, in the story is helping you with the creating your business idea. So it's always a benefit for you when you have some kind of a story to tell and you're making that kind of an atmosphere in the restaurant that you are, as a guest, more than welcome every time you come around. I think we all have that kind of feelings from the restaurant that you just get in, somebody says hello, what do you need? They get the food for you, they take the payment, and you're out. Those are the most influenced things that you can have in a restaurant. So the story is something new. It's something that welcomes you for the food and kind of like presenting the food. So it's always benefit to the restaurant.
Yeah. And it also helps you, it's like a guideline. So when you are choosing, should I use this or this raw material, you can choose which better goes with your story. And you can choose, should I take this or this dish? You can choose the one which is better for your story. And the other dish you can save for next year or next event or whatever when you have maybe a new story. The same story rarely works like from this day until the end of days. Sometimes that's the case, but most often we have to refresh the stories and the ideas time to time.